or look like a cat. There are people out there doing these kind of things. So if we don't wake up to this kind of, what I'm saying is transformation in people's mentality, if that isn't a mental disorder, then what is? Then what is? This is what we should be waking up to. The society is, without our knowledge, they're legislating, they're promoting to such an extent that someday in the future, our lives will be miserable. You won't be in a society, you'll be thinking like, okay, you want to like go to a bathroom, right? Someone who is like you're a woman, and some man comes along and he wants to urinate there, but he says, I'm a woman today, and it's happening. You can't say anything. You can't say anything. What are you going to say? And look, people we know from instances that they have abused this right of theirs and they raped women. And how is it going to stop those people who know that, okay, look, in the prison, for example.
How do we stop it?
One moment, before we go into house yet, we want to understand the problem exists first. That this man says, okay, I feel like a woman, so put them into women's prison, and he rapes the women prisoners. How can you stop them? You can't stop them because you've given them the right already, that because he thinks she's a woman or he's a woman, he must be a woman, have to give him this right. So we have to do what to prevent? We have to have clear guidelines in society.
And when has all this become? Has it manifested itself in European law or European parts? Where's it come from? We know liberal America, but where is it?
It's going to come from the liberalized thinking. Wherever there's a liberalized thought process which influences the government decisions, it's going to start from there and it's going to spread. And this is how the society will then eventually come to a point where, you'll be living like a zoo. Sorry to use this word, but that's how it's going to be. People come like crawling like a cat. It's a human being crawling like a cat. And he says, I'm a cat. Meow, meow. Look at this, how people have become. I mean, it's not a rare thing that we're talking about, but this is exactly what's happening. As Muslims, I'm a Muslim. We have clear guidance from our Creator about who we are, what our relationship is between people, how we should interact with people, and how we should observe rights between individuals. Right? So a pedophile is a pedophile. We're not going to give them any right because this is not natural, normal. This is something that's gone wrong here. So Islam doesn't say it's okay, go and do that. So that's why you will find in Islamic teaching, it talks about people holistically. And then it reforms the people. It gives people the chance to understand who they are, and within this boundary to make a society which is loving, compassionate, just and thriving. And that's why Islamic societies in the past, we were, when Islam was implemented, the golden peak of civilization. Golden peak of civilization. But we have forgotten this history. We have forgotten these lessons in our history where it's not even taught in our schools. When this country, in particular in England, when the Queen of England perhaps didn't have a bath in a month, we had underground sewage system, overground lighting system in Spain and Andalus. That's how Islam elevated people and technology and civilization and humanity. We need to understand, and that's why this is, and I'm bringing down to Islam.
You're going back a few hundred years, aren't you?
I'm going back in the past, but today Muslims are not making a monopoly on anything, because science and technology is not a monopoly for any religion, any group, or any race. Everyone's contributing, and we have to acknowledge and understand and appreciate that. But what I'm saying, at what point Islam introduced the search and quest for knowledge for a reason, because it doesn't allow people to be completely shut and brain dead or brainwashed and thinking that's it, don't use your reason, don't use your intellect. But Islam flourished them in their quest for knowledge. And that's why many of the constellations and stars are named by Muslim scientists. Whether it's algebra, mathematics, optics, physics, biology, astronomy, you name it, Muslims contributed. Why? Where did they get this spark from? They got it from the Quran. And this is what we come here in Speaker's Corner to invite people back to look into this Quran, which we as Muslims believe is a guidance from our Creator. Our Creator. At the end of the day, when you research and reflected, pondered, and analyzed its message, if you like it, accept it. If you don't accept it. That's the message of the Quran.
Yeah.
There is no compulsion in religion, and no one can compel anyone to believe in anything anyway. That's the teaching of Islam.
Fantastic,
Okay?
but I have a plane to catch. Keep peaceful.
Take care. See you later.
That's not the message that we get over here. There's no compulsion in Islam. That's not the message. It might be just media feeding us.
So, in Speaker's Corner or in London?
I'm just thinking people in general. That's what